Hello and welcome now to the 14th public testimonial meeting in all languages. Today is Monday, the 8th of January 2018, and I'll be your host, Danny Moe, and with me hosting is Elizabeth van Druynen. And I wish you a very happy new year. Thank you for being here. And we're looking forward to hearing from you and your experiments and your experiences, everything that you would like to share about the Keshe technology experiments you're doing. Would anybody like to start? And hello again, Elizabeth. Thank you for being here. Can you hear me?
Of course, and I didn't realize I was muted. Thank you so much for inviting me to be with you. And I do wish to also say Happy New Year to you and all people who are listening. And I'm looking forward to hearing the testimonials that people were able to do over the holidays. And soon classes start again next week. And it's so exciting to hear people's testimonials. So, as you said, is there anyone who wants to start? Please unmute yourself.
I know Jalal wanted to join us, but I don't see him here yet. Maybe somebody else would like to start. And Happy New Year again to those that are joining now.
Okay, so we really just still in our holiday mode, I think. Don't be shy. We really do want to hear your testimonials. I know that many of you have had opportunities to play with the technology and maybe get some plasma experiences. And for now, we can just remember how important our breathing is. This is the part of the plasma technology I really enjoy, focusing on how we can interact with our soul, with the soul of our physicality and the soul of the man, with our breath, with our understanding how incredible we really are and how many filters we've placed upon ourselves that prevent us from seeing each other's beauty and our own beauty. And I believe the plasma technology helps us see that. That's why, for me, all the various GANs, but the zinc GANs helps us deal with the emotions, and our emotions are the filters. And so if anybody has any stories about that or any part of the Keshe technology or their understanding of it, please do step up. This is your opportunity to share with us. And while we're waiting for each other, let's just remember to know that when we're inhaling, we're receiving universal energy. We're also receiving what thoughts we've been holding in our head because we resonate whatever we're thinking about or doing. We have that resonance within us. So when we're inhaling, we're receiving energy from the universe and our own thoughts and everything around us. And that's passing through our body. And as we're exhaling, we're sharing that with ourselves and everybody around us and the universe. So the more that we can bring ourselves into a state of peace, remember to breathe consciously, to play as Mr. Keshe was teaching in this week's workshop, play with your breath, play with changing your breath, the rhythm of your breath, and interacting with when you lean this way, do you smell an orange? Just really, we need to practice with who we are. And the breath is the key. Remember, the origins of breathing come from the word spirit, respirer. Spirare is the original Latin word. So we're really playing with our breath. And most of us forget this, and thank goodness our body goes into automatic. But when you can remember to use your breath, to feel it coming in from the universe, and to share it as you exhale, and feel it coming in like a vortex, a spiral of energy. It's just a few moments of alertness that will reconnect you to who you really are.
As you are talking about breathing, I can add to that. I've been practicing. It's a breathing technique that's for frontal cranial cleansing, frontal brain cleansing breath. I've been practicing this before I plasma bank. It has helped considerably. I think it's also helping with my reduction in food, which is now down to 0. Mr. Keshe has said that, we can, and as we all know, we can take everything we need from the environment. So that's really where I'm heading at the moment, is to practice different breathing techniques and see how I feel with them, how they stimulate me, what sensations they give to me. And, if it's something that I feel the benefits of, any breathing technique you're going to feel the benefits of, but the ones that really do stimulate me in a mass sensation, a physical sensation where I can really, really feel the movement of plasma in and over my body, they're the ones that I stick to. So it'd be interesting to, if anybody else has anything to share on breathing techniques that they've been doing, it'd be really good to hear. The technique that I've been practicing is it's blowing air out of my lungs, using my stomach, pushing my stomach in and blowing the air out in incremental steps, in small steps until it's all gone. And then I've been retaining the exhalation for a bit of time, and then passively inhaling. So I don't use my lungs, or I use my stomach. Yeah, because when the stomach goes in, it pushes everything on the inside, and as long as your windpipe is open, when you bring your stomach in, it pushes all the air out. And then on the inhale, I just use my stomach to just I let go of it just to expand, but it doesn't expand immediately. It takes a little bit of time. So the inhale,
We lost you. You still there, Dimitri?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now we can, yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've just come.
We heard most of you.
Yeah. The air, breathing, we're taking in plasmatic fields from what we're breathing in, and we can feed off of that. There's no doubt about it. We can feed just from the environment and using the lungs and with breathing techniques and focusing on the heart and activating the starship formation within us, we get everything we need. Has anybody else practiced any type of breathing techniques of any sort?
I think it's important that all techniques are good, and no specific technique belongs to one specific thing to remember. It's kind of like keeping everything simple. The idea, from what I'm understanding, is to play with it, to practice it. And yes, check out different techniques. And what Dimitri is saying is so important about your diaphragm, your belly, because most people wear clothes that constrain their diaphragm. Men in particular are expected to wear a leather belt or a belt around their belly, or if you're wearing jeans, they usually don't allow your full belly to expand. And we've all been doing ourselves a disservice by not allowing our bellies to expand, because it works like a bellows. So as Dimitri was saying, when you're inhaling, and if you just do it nice and slowly and just feel yourself being filled and feel the air coming in, bring yourself to the conscious awareness that this air that's coming in is cool. And then as it goes out, if you're blowing through your nose, or exhaling through your nose, it's going to be warmer. And then doing it with your mouth, out your mouth. There's so many ways to play with your breathing. And there's also the holding of the breath between, your inhales and your exhales. But really, what we want to do is bring our conscious awareness to the fact that we are breathing, that we are receiving. When we inhale, we're receiving everything we need, but we're also receiving what we're resonating to in our thoughts. And that's why you want to come as much as possible to a place of silence within yourself. So that the monkey mind isn't am I doing this right? Am I doing it wrong? Am I holding it too long? All that interferes. So you really want to come as much as possible with an empty mind. So to focus, bring yourself into the present. And as Klaus was saying, if you need to go up and down on your heels, just to bring yourself into presence for a while, jump up and down. And then again, feel your connection to the earth. She is our mother. Feel her energy coming into you. On your first few breaths, you just want to fill your vessel with that. So you're receiving, you're receiving, you're receiving. You're going to still exhale, but you're going to exhale within yourself. And then after a few breaths, exhale it, feeling it like a spiral going through the top of your head. So you're back now, giving everything you've received back to the universe, and it ripples out around you. And it's really so simple, but we've made it complicated by all these journeys of perfection. No, try this technique and that technique. And there are a myriad, there's many, many techniques out there. But the most important one is to keep it simple and just feel love and joy within yourself for receiving these gifts from the universe. Because every breath we receive is a gift. We receive this given to us. And then when we exhale, we give it back. So we're taking from the universe and we're giving it back. And if you can feel that resonance within yourself of, wow, it's just a breath, but it's an incredible thing. So yes, any techniques people want to share, feel free to, but also remain aware that you are already a perfect being. You've just stopped remembering that you are. We all have stopped remembering that we are. And as we remember, and not in an egotistical perfect being, you just are, without the filters, without the worries, without the fears, without all the inculcation, indoctrination we received that we're not worthy. We are such amazing beings, each and every one of us, each and every living thing. The fly that might land on your nose while you're meditating, he could welcome him or her. Yeah, wow, okay, hello, I got a fly on my nose. It's we are amazing. So if I just want to add that back in, thank you, Dimitri. And if anybody else wants to add, please do.
Yeah, thank you. That's beautiful. That is another experiment and experience. Thank you. Thanks, Dimitri. Thanks, Elizabeth. Anyone else like to share with us what other experience you've made or experiment you've set up, or even this is part of it, the breathing exercises and using ganses for various applications, reactors, anything that you would like to share with the rest. Just feel free, open your microphone.
How much you pay?
Hello.
Good
Yay!
evening.
This must be
Come on in.
Jalal.
Yes, we can hear you, Jalal. Come on in.
Very good. You made
How
it.
much? How much you pay?
We pay you in oranges and happy thoughts.
Okay.
Thanks. Jalal, what do you have for us? You would like to share something?
Yeah. I send in the chat rooms video, but it doesn't work because it was another method model. But I will share it with you just now live, if you
Yes.
allow me.
And what is this in regards to?
This is my graph.
Oh, your MAGRAPH. Okay, great.
I
Thank you.
cleared the screen for you. Go ahead, Jalal.
Thank you. Wait. Why it doesn't allow? It says here you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. Are you stopping me something?
I don't think she is. Let's just see.
No.
I know with the update of Zoom, it did some things that may have locked it up without us knowing. So I'll go see if I can check that out.
Let me
You should
see.
be able to share. Yeah. Try again.
No, it's not allowed. Let me see. Camera.
Yes, we can see your beautiful face.
Hello?
Yes, we see you now. Yay. Hi, Jalal. Okay.
Hi. Let me change the camera to the other one. Switch camera. Okay. Let me show you something, Danny. That's only for you. You see this one?
Fantastic. Yes, please. Go for it.
Okay. Okay, guys. This is my graph.
Jalal is wearing his pink shoes for us today.
Yeah.
So,
this is a special,
Yeah.
special testimonial. This is the first testimonial in the year, so we are
In the
celebrating.
new year. Yes. Show us what you have there. You have everything in your lab.
Sure. I just buy this one, and I'm gonna put it and see how much consuming in energy with and without this MAGRAPH. I just reading it, and you ask me to come. You ask me to come and join you. if you notice that.
Yes.
Don't worry, Libby. I'm not speaking about you. So, guys, really, I miss you. You know, in the teaching, we are every day we are speaking together. But now, I'm anxious to come back to the teachings. You see, guys. Let me. If you don't see the light here. You see the light?
Yes.
You don't see the light, yes? Yeah, no.
We can hear the tone, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not holding it over 3 buckets of water, but there's something inside, yeah? Can you explain what's inside?
I put them, the coiling, I put them in the liquid plasma water with the gases inside. And I connected as a serial inside. So, and please, for who is concerned in this method, don't try it until you are 100% sure that all your nano coating is real nano coated, because now we are speaking about electricity, and it is direct to the main. It's going there to the main. So please do not try it if you are not sure about your nano coating. This is only tool that always Mr. Keshe is teaching us that this is only tools to understand the plasma and how this is working, and this nano coating is also a tool to see what the capability of the plasma in energy and everything. And this one you see.
So Jalal, you have double coils in each.
Yes.
Plastic cup, yeah.
Yes. The double coil in everyone, but I done it. 2 of them is horizontal and vertical, and one is normal. You see, this is the 2 coils inside, and I put this one here extra. It's just to try. You see this one, this small one. It's only for it's hanging there in the water. I will, and this one also. I will try some experiment with it. So let me show you how it's now. It is working, and this is the cable for it, and coming to this one. And you need to notice exactly the minus and the plus. You need to make it in the correct way. And it's working quite good. And this one inspired me to do that in the Keshe Foundation workshop. And one guy, he done it, but he put all the 3 in one case. And Mr. Keshe said you don't need to put capacitors to this maggraph, because you already have your capacitor inside in You see, it is really, really beautiful. It take a high measurement, you see. So this is small. You see here also what is the minus and the plus. In the minus side, you don't have anything, but in the plus side, without touching, you see the field of it. So that's all. And this one here, what I have, this is the reactors for making the hydrogen, the tritium, and here making the deuterium. I put it in a bowl and it's closed, sealed with the CO2 kit inside it, the wire and the zinc plate, the same thing here. And this one is already for...
You gotta go a little slower there, Jalal. You're making us dizzy.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Jalal, did you nano coat the inside of those spheres?
No, this one I didn't, but I did nano coat another type of plastics, and I am gonna use them also in another reactor.
Okay, because what I'm thinking is if they're not nano coated, the CO2 box is going to pull carbon from the plastic and not from the CH3.
Yeah, possibly you are right in that. And this is not the end. I'm gonna do another set for that also. And I will, I did the nano coated then. Before yesterday.
There's a lot of CH3 in there as well. That would take a long time to change.
We have a time. Don't worry. I have a set there. If you see there, you see this two boxes, one at top and the other. Where's the toolbox? You see two boxes there?
On top of the shelf, yeah? In the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is already for about 2.5 or 3 months. And I forget them. So let me forget them for 3 months more.
Has the CH3 changed color in any way?
A little bit, a little bit. The CH3, what I have is a little bit darker. If you see here, this is the same CH3, what I have. And this is what I have in the reactor. It is this is a little bit orange, if you notice, little bit in orange color, not like this one. This is more red, orange to red. So I think it's working in a way. And I have this this box. This is already nano-coated inside outside. I'm making some also water experiment in it to produce water, because in producing water you need the nano-coated box inside outside. This is must be like this, inside outside. And yeah, any question? No question, we go home.
No, admiration. You do such great work. Thank you, Jalal. I'm sure someone
Thank you,
has
Lily.
questions.
Were you saying you were using your voltmeter there, Shalal?
Sorry, what you saying?
Did you say you were going to use a voltmeter now to?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
This one I
Have
just
you made any?
no, I just buy it just now. I'm going to fix it. Just put the battery inside and
Okay.
work with it. The battery is there. It's already there. Good. So only I will fix it and I'm gonna test it before and after, and then I will put it to the freeze. And yesterday I tried it, and I tried with it the 12 volt to take also DC, but I have shortage in the wires. I don't know why, because I mixed the wires. And today I thought I'm gonna buy some extra fuses, you know, because I don't want to be short of them. I have only one left. I don't want to use it, so I will not take this chance. So that will be tomorrow. I will buy new fuses if necessary, if there is shortage, some short in the circuit or something. So today only testing the voltage, how much I consume before and after the device, inserting the device in. But as you see now, this method is working, and from the explanation of Mr. Keshe, this is good method also. You don't need to make the capacitors, because in this way the water, the liquid plasma water, and the gases inside is work like the capacitors, and we will see.
This is very interesting. Now we're looking at 3 coils that have been connected to the plug to electricity, and you're not having a shortcut or anything.
No.
So you must be doing something right there. This is amazing.
I hope. I hope. And if you see here, look, this one I inserted before yesterday, and see now it have a green color in it.
Is
You
that
see
the
that?
copper coming through? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And tell me, Jalal, again, in your buckets, in the 3, you have 3 different GANS waters.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
And which
this one CH3, and this one CO2, and this one is CuO, but I done it with the quick method, with the high voltage. I have three kind of separate copper oxide: the black and the gray one, and the green one. But I didn't find the green one. I don't know where is it in this mass, so I put the gray one. It's more grayish than green, if you see it from this side.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Does anybody have a question for Jalal here? While we're looking
I
at
have
his
a question,
experience.
Jalal. With
How much you pay? How much you pay?
how much do you want? Where you have the power going in,
Yeah.
is that goes in first to the CH3, is that right?
Yes. Yes.
And does that go into the gravitational coil and then into the magnetical and then out into the CUO?
Gravitational. Yeah. No, it goes to the COO. This one. From here, coming from here inside to the CH3 and goes to the COO, and coming out from the COO, this wire cable, going into the CO2 and coming out from the CO2. I know I didn't put it as I want to do it something differently. I will change the setting after, and I will see what is the change in that setting. You know, because I know the CH3 is 17 and the CO2 is 43. It's more. I know from the, and the highest here in that COO, the highest. I know that, but I did want to make something different to see first what is happening, and then I will go to each of them not in separately, but in different formation, and I want to see what I will have here. Now, if I see the fields here, it's about how much? It's about 10 centimeter from here, from the CH3, but from here it's a little bit higher from the CO, and from here the CO2, if you see, also it's a little bit more than CH3. The CH3, I need to come. Do you see? If I come, you see, in this distance about 10 centimeter or 11 centimeter, and then I see the field because the CH3 is weaker, and I give to the CH3 first. If I change the situation here, if I take from the CH3, I think it will be different because in the plasma, you know, the strong give to the weakest. That's the plasma law. It's only I'm testing here and there.
Thank you.
You understand? You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Do we have more questions
in all languages, even in Urdu? I'm joking.
Yeah.
Are you alone today? Is it Flint there with you?
No, it is just it's just us.
Just the two of us. Yeah.
Two of us.
Just the family.
Well, Flint's definitely family, but I think he's traveling, or I don't know. But anyways, he could not come, I guess, today. So it's all good. We'll make you Flint, okay?
Yeah.
Two of us make one Flint. That should be enough.
If I can laugh as he's laughing, okay, that will be.
Great.
So
Thank you, Jalal.
you're welcome.
I don't see any more questions here, so thank you very much. It's always interesting to look into your lab, because I know you have hundreds of experiments running at the same time, and it's nice to have a peek.
I do not stop, you know.
Yeah, very good.
I have a question.
Hello, Eric.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, the same to you. And
Thank you.
I have a question to Jalal. Do you
Yes,
think
sir.
it's possible that you could make a drawing or diagram how you connect this? Because, you know, if I see a diagram, I see in 10 seconds how it's made. But
Okay,
when you explain it, it takes 10 minutes and you understand nothing.
okay, I will. This is my diagram. This is my
Okay,
diagram.
then you have to put it into the picture field so we can see it.
Yeah, we can't see it till you have to lower it a little bit or something. No, the other way. Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go.
This is the minus. This is only in serial, you know. It's coming into to the negative, going to the positive, positive to the negative, negative to the positive, positive to the negative, and negative to the positive.
Okay,
And
so
and this one is what is in. This is the positive side. This is the what is coming from the grid. The positive side going to the negative here. In this case, and what's coming out this one also the positive where it's going to the blood. So you are working only with the positive, and the negative side is connected direct.
yeah, okay, I get it.
You see this one. You see the green one. You see the green one. This one is direct from the green here to the green here.
Yeah.
It's not connected to the coils.
Are you colorblind? I think this is blue. Or is it me? You have a brown and a blue wire, right?
No, I'm saying it's green, so you must see it green.
I'm seeing blue as well.
I'm sorry, it's blue. I'm joking. I'm seeing here. This one here is green. That's why I'm telling you this is green.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Jalal.
No problem.
But I'm also wondering a bit about the field strength, because we all have these sensors. Most of us has these field sensors, and
Yeah.
of course the sensitivity is not the same on all these test pins. Some are more sensitive than others, but I have a macro that is only partly working, and it has a field more than 20 centimeters with this test pin I have. And I don't know if other has measured and how much distance they have registered before they get indication.
I cannot tell you that because for me, I have the Magra for since nearly 2 years. And I believe me, I'm telling you why about the nano coating, because for 2 years I have this nano coating. It's still there. I have done about 20 of them or more than that. I'm not interested really in Magra, but to understand the plasma and what it's doing, and when I need to teach someone or need to show something for someone to come to this knowledge, I needed that, and I especially put it in the water that it confirmed the speciality of the plasma knowledge, because you cannot put electricity in the water and you go through with it. That is normally not.
But Jalal, about this You have a serious connection.
Yes.
Okay. With this setup you have made here with 3 separate containers, if you take just a short copper wire instead of the Magrav coil and put into the water and up again, you will still get no shorts, because it's a serious connection that just couples the mains to your connector list, or what do you call the white thing you have. So when we do it this way, we are not in any way dependent upon insulation to avoid any shorts, because you have the insulation in the plastic containers.
Okay.
But we are dependent upon the nano coating in order to have the plasma flow in the system. And the capacitor, you know, if you go to an electronic store and you buy a normal electrolytic capacitor, what you have in such a capacitor is you have 2 electrodes. And those 2 electrodes, there the aluminium is oxidized. So you have aluminium oxide on the surface of the aluminium foil that is coiled inside the capacitor. And this very, very thin layer of aluminium oxide is the dielectricum in the capacitor. When you have these coils and you have the nano coating, you know, we say we have a superconductor along the way of the nano coated wire, but across the nano coating we have insulation. And this is why you have the capacitor in these boxes, because the plasma water is 1 electrode and the copper inside the nano coating is the other electrode. You see?
Okay.
Separated by the nano coating. But I'm still not fully into this and have the full understanding. I'm going to have some talks in the near future where I try to understand more of the function of the Magrav, because I think there's more to it than Mr. Keshe tells us. That's another thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And he told us, you play with it, you try everything, and with the trying and playing with the plasma, you will see so many things, you will understand so many things also.
Yes,
That's why I started with this. And I have in my mind a different setup for this. But first, I will check out the voltage console, and then I will change the setups from which one to which one, from CH3 to CO2 and CO2 for COO. And then I have another winding. I discussed that with Farhad, and he gave me some ideas, but I know this from before, and I will try this one. But I said, first let me do this simple thing that I start with, you know, without shortening my work. And I will do all these methods in what is in my mind. And you know, when you expect something and you are involved in it, and then you will have so many ideas. But if I have one idea and I give it outside and nobody do it, so this idea, even if it's wrong or right, it will go with the wind, you know, because no one does it. But if you do something and after that you are continuous doing some what do you call it? You invest time and effort in it, and like you, Eric, or Dimitri, or Danny have ideas, okay, why don't you do that? Because maybe I have this idea, I have this visualization, I have this dream. I like you to do that, you see. And then we start to do something. But only before I have a lot, but because I am alone, I only talking without do really something. Uh, okay, I do so many things, but not actually what I like to do. At work, I have so many ideas, I have so many thoughts, I have so many, I'm flying there. I don't know. When I come here, as something stop me in the head, I do not do anything because I am only listening to the teaching and trying to understand. But now I am going to change this, all this, that experimenting and all the way. Every day something that I can do. And
I
we are
think
learning.
this is very good, Dilao, because if you really want to learn something, now I'm not just talking all the stuff from Mr. Keshe, but just general. If you really want to be good at something, of course you have to do a lot of thinking yourself, try to understand the relations between some facts and figure out how it works, and then you have to try it out in practice. And then you observe and try to connect what you have seen and see if it fits with your thoughts. If it doesn't fit, you try a new way of the thinking. Maybe you thought something wrong, or maybe you didn't actually make the physical thing like you thought you were doing. You see? And
Yeah.
if you have this as a continuous process, then you will succeed in the end, certainly. Because
We all succeeding in that because we are all involved. Eric, believe me, when we were in the teaching, sometimes I think about some question Dimitri asked it, and sometimes when I think about something, I find the answer from Mr. Cash without asking him. And you, Eric, or John, really we are all connected because we are working with this plasma and we are drinking and feeling and touching and connecting to the plasma, and the plasma is connected with the whole universe. So I will not be astonished if there will be a day that I will see a friend here. And believe me, I have such a situation that I feel there is someone here. Sometimes. Or I believe, and I would like to believe that. And I would love to have this image in my head. I will love that. I will not abandon this idea because they are already there. Every inch there is an entity, there is an intelligent everywhere, and there is a matter everywhere, but it's in different strength. So we need to only to increase our strength in plasma, and we will see it. That's all.
you can be sure, Delal, that you are never left alone a single day. A lot of
Yeah.
a lot of a lot of spirits will follow you. And if you are a bit sensitive to it, you can feel when they come. And they are trying to help. And they help by emitting some frequencies to us that our brain slowly can convert into some conscious thinking.
Yeah, you know, Eric. Sometimes I think these poor souls, they are shouting at us. You fools! You just hear us.
Please listen and understand.
Yeah, we are here. Hello, hello. But we are blind for thousands of years, really. And if someone hears something, he cannot speak about it because they will say, you are a lunatic. Yeah, you are a psychic. Yeah, nothing such a thing. You know. And we believe that for this life. We go for it. But thanks God, and that Mr. Keshe came, and we joined. And now he is opening our minds and our eyes, all our sense for such a thing. And it's real. You know, now if I see something in the internet or something speaking about something, I will not say that he is liar or he is making this up. No, but as I said today to my wife, there's someone in Egypt that he said he's hearing God and God telling him seeing that and this, and maybe is coming out in this month. And look what he's saying. I said, look, it's no different what he's saying and what we are learning. It's only his skill, not skill, his measurement device is different. Everyone sees something, he put it in his measurement, in his knowledge, and he's balancing it, if is it okay with him or not, because it depends of his intelligence. What he have, this guy, I'm not saying he's lying or he's right in what he's saying, but for his knowledge, in this time, in today time, for his knowledge, that is what happened to him. But if I confirm this guy and speak to him, I will tell him, okay, this messages is every second there is 100 of messages waiting for someone to hear them. You accidentally in one position, you opened only this channel 999. I'm trying to open from the 1 to the million, and then I will listen for what is out there. It's all the time is there. It's like a sun. The sun is always there. But now we are in the evening, we decide to turn up our back for it. Is that meaning that the sun is not there? No, it's there and shining all the time, every second of our life, and they are beyond our life. So this is the difference. You are in the sunshine and say, hey, the sunshine is there. I said, no. From my point of view, from my situation, from my place, I don't see the sun. You see, you're an idiot, you cannot see, you are blind. I'm telling you, it's there. From your point of view, from your place, from your time being, you are right, 100% right. Because you see it, you touch it, you feel it. I don't. And then I will tell you, you are a liar, you are nothing, you don't know nothing. And this is the confusing thing. Everything is there, everyone capable to, as you said, to receive this message, because the message is there. It's already there in the air. And if you think about something, Eric, now if you think about something, do you think it's not there near me? It's there.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere in the same second. It's everywhere. But you are.
What Mr. Keshe tried to teach us is to regain the lost abilities of the humankind.
Yeah.
Because if you gain this, you see everything.
Yes.
A few people on Earth has had these capabilities. Jesus, Leonardo da Vinci, Walter Russell.
But wait. But they have this capability, but without awareness. Without the awareness. Without the awareness.
We are just like a radio receiver not tuned into the channel.
Yes. And all of this is only to teach us that there is something. There's nothing here. What you saying? There's no. Wait a minute. Do you see here? You see? There is a light. You see? You see this light? You see from where it's come? Okay. Now I notice there is something.
Yeah. I would wish I had the capabilities I have seen demonstrated by other people. Some people can see radio waves, they can see magnetic fields, and I'm sure they can also see the plasma fields.
You know, when I was in Iraq, this is in 1990. Maybe I told that in the class. It's happened that I know some of my relatives who have two daughters. One is she is genie in mathematics, and one she is who can see behind the doors. She can see what will happen in the future, and she can tell you about a person when there is a picture. If this guy, because you know, in that time we already finished 8 years of war, and there is so many missing people in the war, you know, as dead people or missing or in captivity. So they coming to her all the time. Even the government, they have pictures with her and ask her about so many things. And it's happened that she is my relative, and I went there and I saw this in my eyes. And we done experiment that we closed her eyes, and I was sure that she is really, she cannot see. And we tested her with so many things, and it was 100% correct.
Yeah, if you have these abilities, you cannot hide anything anywhere in the universe. It's
No,
because it's everywhere. All is connected.
yes, that's right. So
So
we hope we will awareness we have, thanks to Mr. Keshe. All of us have this awareness. All of us knows there is something, but we need to train it. We need to train how to go to this position. Some people, like let's say Messi, he is born with this gift, and some people like Cristiano Ronaldo, he's making efforts to go to this position. You see, it's the same thing. I am like a Messi, I have this gift. You, Eric, like Cristiano, you don't have this gift, so you must practice.
yeah.
I am joking.
Yeah, and you are right. You have to practice, and the first step is to elevate your soul. And when you have done that, you can go some steps further. But I still have a lot to learn. But
the beautiful thing, Eric, that we already took the first step of
yes,
awareness. That is the beautiful thing, that you are in the first or second or third step. I don't know. It's but your position, and you are coming to the teachings, and you are participating, and you trying to open the closed doors. This is put you in this place, that you are one of these guys who love and like and know there is awareness, and they are in the path, they are in the road, you know, to the end. And if we take it one day, or it will take 1 million years. So we are in the path.
yeah, and to obtain a goal, the first thing is to envision that you get to the goal, because without the wish and envisioning what you want to achieve, you get nowhere. Yeah. And if you don't believe in yourself, who should do it?
Absolutely.
Believe in you. So
you know, Eric, do you notice something? You and me speaking, and Danny and Libby, they are nothing. You see, they left. They left us alone speaking, and they went to drinking coffee and all of that.
We're loving listening to the men speak. So thank you so very much, both of you. Keep it going, unless others want to add their wisdom. But no, we're grinning here. I know Danny's been dropping in and out because her internet connection's not so great. But no, I'm loving this, and thank you, wisdom man. I'm calling you Eric. Thank you, both of you, so much. Keep it up if you want. It's good. I'm liking it. Maybe we got some new co-hosts here. I love it. Like you have all that time.
I'm sure Diallo could run the show, no problem.
If I speak, I will not stop tomorrow.
Well, we can see if anybody does want to add more to this, because it is a good conversation,
Yes.
or if they have experiments or anything else. But just because you pulled me back into while I was actually sitting here with big grins on my face. So thank you, both of you. Yeah.
Hello, maybe I can add
Oh, Hassan, yeah,
something.
good.
Hello, everybody. I love you all.
Hi.
Welcome, Hassan. It's good to hear your voice.
Good to hear you all. Maybe I can add something in what Libby was saying first, and what Jalal was talking about now. Like seeing stuff, feeling. I think it's more a sense of feeling in plasma. Because Mr. Keshe, I think he emphasizes more on that. And maybe I think the cornerstone of all those teaching happens two teachings ago with the commandments, the release of the true commandments. And since that day, I see the plasma in a different way, in different aspect. I'm not so technical. I'm not technical anyway. Since I entered the plasma mentality, I never made magraves. I just made like one or two paint pens with the copper. But when I made against,
Please, may I stop you a moment? When you talk, don't let the air from your mouth go to the microphone.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Please continue.
Thank you. So I was saying that, so I'm not that technical. I've never made a magrav. I never felt energies about the magravs, but I felt maybe slightly the energies of the games, but it's more by giving to people plasma tools so that they can heal themselves, and never took money in for what I've made till now. And what I wanted to emphasize on is that since those two teachings, I felt more that it's on the soul level, so it's on our daily acts, our daily lives, whatever we make, have to be correct, have to be just, follow the commandments, release the commandments, talk to people about the commandments. I started doing it. In our Muslim mentalities, it's a little hard to tell people that we are same as prophet, and maybe we can become better than prophets. They always put the prophets on such high level that when you told them about the commandments, they're a little bit like frightened. Some are vexed, some are choked. They can on the limits in their talking. You see that they can literally kill you if you develop more. But as we know, we don't have to fear death. Death does not exist. So I open the subject with people's without having a fear of being killed or being frightened, or just I feel myself one with the people in the front of me, and people, when you start reading the commandments, they're like a little bit calmer. They keep calm. They hear you. They listen to what you're saying, and you feel that they're listening to their soul, because that's the true way. That's the true ethos we have to follow. And as you say, Jalal, we're already in it. And I had an experience 2 days ago. I cannot tell you really if that really happens or not. Let me just take 5 minutes to share that with you. I don't know why I'm sharing it, but it has to. I was drinking a coffee on the beach, and at the point before the end of my coffee finished, there was an ant in it, a drowned ant. I'm sure that the ant was. I'm not sure now. I don't know if it's. She was drowned. She was literally drowned, and before drinking the last sip of the coffee, I put it out, and I was like trying. Well, I wanted to practice. I was like focusing on the horizon on the beach, and felt myself centered between the sun, me in contact with the earth. I tried to feel the heartbeat of the earth, if I can say. Uh, and I was trying to maybe to revive that end. I was not sure I can make it, but the first feeling I get was a feeling of pain because of seeing it died, a dead ant, and a pain like when you feel loved ones, which like my mother was that died some years ago. My father passed away 2 or 3 years ago behind, and I felt the same feeling for the ant. And at that moment, I was talking to
Watch
that
your mic
little
there,
voice.
Hassan. Your mic
Yeah,
is, you're breathing again. Are you walking around as you're
yeah,
talking?
no. I'm at the front of the beach, and have a little wind there. Maybe I can
Ah,
protect my mic a little bit.
yeah.
Hassan, don't
Yes.
don't breathe.
Yeah, about breathing, I have a nice stuff to share. Maybe after that about breathing. Uh, but I was let's go back to the ant. I was hoping that the ant. I was talking to that little voice. There, Lisa McDonald always tell us trust that little voice, and I was focusing on the horizon, inhaling as much as I can, and expiring by imagining the flow of the energy going from my head, to the top of my head, and trying to make one with the whole universe. I don't know how to tell you by details. It's a feeling, so everyone has to feel it his way. Like you were saying, Libby, there is not special techniques, and but we try to follow. Mr. Keshe gave some, like the one teaching ago, the last teaching. Even if I do not understand it fully, I try to, like you say, Libby, inhale, take from the plasma, and exhale back to the plasma too. And after 5 minutes, one of the foot of the ant moved, just one move. And at that moment, I was like, no, it did not move. And I was continuing to focus on trying to revive. And the ant came back to life little by little, like on a 3 minute process. She came back to life. But the one thing that I want to focus on, the triggering. I felt that the triggering is first feeling the pain at a point you got you got your eyes, how you say, your eye, your tear dropping at that point, I felt the pain for the aunt first, and afterwards, by focusing on 5 minutes, it came back to life. So I don't know if I'm going crazy or if it's really what's happened. The aunt maybe was just drowned and not so much to die totally. But I promise when I had the aunt on my index, she was not moving. She was totally dead. I don't know. That's what I wanted to share. A little story, that little story, and another one about the breathing. I 1 week ago for the breathing techniques. I don't know why by on YouTube I I watched the video on Wim Hof, the Wim Hof methods. I don't know if you know Wim Hof, is the guy who gone to the Himalaya with a short barefoot, and he teaches a technique of breathing where you inhale totally and exhale totally 30 times. You hold your breath for maybe 1 minute, 1 minute and 20 without having to make any effort. You feel that by those 30 breaths, inhaling and exhaling totally, you recharge your body. And I've never been an apnea man, like I've never holded my breath more than maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And but on that experience, it was the first time I clicked on the video, and it's a video of maybe 20 minutes where one guy is practicing the method, and I practiced it. I was laying on my bed, and I hold it for 120, and you can hold your breath for 3 minutes 45 seconds by practicing maybe on 10 days. So that's the method I was using on the beach, maybe by inhaling totally, exhaling totally, and trying to connect with the plasma. Maybe you can try to catch methods you want, and I hope that my sharing will push people to connect more. And good day to all. Good night to all.
Thank you, Hassan. That was beautiful. And I love the story about the ant. And I think the more we practice that, I mean, obviously, everything has free will as to when it wants to leave the physicality, but somehow I think you did connect with that ant, and it said, oh, okay, here I am. And back to the breathing, I really want to help people recognize, as Hassan said, and Dimitri was saying, find those that resonate to you. And holding your breath is only good after you've really worked your breathing. Like, don't try to hold your breath without having worked your lungs a bit, because you don't want to stress your body. Breathing is not about stressing your body. It's about celebrating your body. We feed ourselves every time we inhale. And so the idea of elongating that is a great idea, but it takes time. Like Hassan was saying, you have to do one thing 30 times to be able to do not inhale for a minute or whatever. But don't stress yourself about it. The whole idea of breathing is not stress. It's peaceful. Be conscious. Feel it. Again, feeling is what we really have to learn, because in space, if we don't see and we don't hear, we're only going to feel. And if we can't speak, again, feeling. So the ideas of looking up on YouTube, you can see all kinds of techniques on breathing, and you can see all kinds of techniques on so many things, but only go to those that resonate to you. And also, I want to stress how much it's important to remember, what are you talking about in your life? What are you reading up on? What are you resonating to? Because if you're resonating to the well-being, to peace on this planet, to joy, to the elevation of all souls, that's what you're going to be inhaling. But if you're resonating to how, yeah, I hate being poor and I don't like paying taxes and who is that person anyways, that's what you're going to be inhaling, because it's going in and out, in and out. And our thoughts, our filters can really prevent us from being who and what we really are. And we're all incredible. There is not one thing that is not incredible. Not one, including our beautiful ant story. I could see the tears from your eyes, Hassan, when you were telling that story. So thank you.
Maybe you were talking about the thought. Mr. Keshe, in the last teaching, says that if you go on the page of the spaceship, there's one sentence hidden there, which maybe opens the door. I read that page 1, 2, 3 times, and maybe one sentence came to me. I don't know why is it that one, but as you're talking about the thoughts, that sentence is the spaceship must be created out of Magrav's plasma, since it is naturally conscious. Magrav's plasma can be concentrated and configured by thought, according to the requirements of space travel. So I think that thoughts are the key of to flying, to going in deep space, to making your pens, to healing people, to whatever you want to use it. You just have to be fully in trust in what we are making, and by practicing we'll discover, I think, little by little, and hope that we can bring more people. That's our mission. Our mission is to never stop doing what we are doing, and to elevate the others. At least people which are ready to receive but do not know about the technology, because Mr. Keshe was saying that if we build 1,000 factory, we only reach 1/6, I think, of the whole planet. So we have a lot to do. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
Thank you,
very much,
Hassan.
Hassan. Beautiful.
Let me add that this is all about sympathetic vibrations. Because if you are in sympathetic vibration with something, that is amplification. This is the principle behind the Maghrab in reality, because you have set 3 systems up that is in sympathetic vibration with each other. And then you get amplification and can harvest some energy. And when we talk about the ant, and we think about healing, the cells in the body, they have a lot of frequencies, and these frequencies are programmed into the DNA. And if we get some poisons with some other frequencies that get disharmony in the body, then we get health problems. And the cancers, they are materials that emits frequencies that heals the body. When done right, when we use the right mixture of gases for something, then we can make a condition that makes the body vibrate right again, and then we are okay. And we were just talking about that frequencies. If I have a thought, my brain emits frequencies relating to my thought, created by my thought. And this frequency is everywhere in the universe. And those who can read these frequencies or decode them have tuned into the station. They know what I think. And this basic principle also relates to health. Those who have the ability to make frequencies specific for healing a disease, they can heal another person in the universe of something that ordinary doctors need to operate, but they can just do it with pure thoughts. So that's something to think about, and I think it would be very nice if Mr. Keshe would enlighten us more about the basics about this and how we can train it. Because those who are the furthest front runners in practicing this can do a lot of good for other humans. And I think the more widespread this knowledge is, the better. And we have to remember that Big Pharma, they try to oppose this knowledge as strong as they can, because they have a pure chemical view that is only based on earning a lot of money and depopulation. And we have to go against it. And this is the way to do it. And I think maybe we can get Mr. Keshe to enlighten us about how to do these things, because I'm sure he can do it. And now I'm speaking, I can just tell that my friend Christian is treating on an autistic young man. He's age about 18. He is quite bright, but he, the communication skills is not so good. And his parents has come to Christian with this young man sometimes. I think he has been in treatment now with 2 or 3 months, something around that. And from no communication and no ability to eye contact, he has now come to the point where he begins to touch and he have eye contact. But he could communicate with his, he has some pet of a kind, and with this he could communicate with others. And the last time he was at Christian, he wrote on this pad, "Can I get my language back?" And the parents, they are so happy because of the progress they have seen in 3 months. And this is an ongoing story, and it is very interesting to see how the Ganses and all the good thoughts of the parents are able to better the condition of this young man. And we need it because many years ago, it was 1 in 100,000 that was an autist. The latest figures from USA is 1 in 48. This is simply madness. And there's a lot of people to help when we get a good protocol for how to do it. So this was just my little input on this health issue with the autism. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, for your wisdom there and your feedback. Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you, everyone else. Do we have more experiences or experiments that you would like to share with us?
If it's okay, I'd like to follow on from what Hassan was talking about with the ant. Firstly, I'd like to thank you, Hassan, for saving a member of our family. It's good. I have to go to collect water for my dogs, and the outlet where it is, it's a public tap for drinking water. It used to be a spring, but because the farmers have used so much ammonium nitrate, it's contaminated the groundwater, so it's now municipality water. But it comes out of this tap into a small pond, so to speak. It's maybe 4 or 5 foot in diameter. And in the summertime, there's a huge amount of insects and wasps of all different types, and they tend to fall into the water. And it, you know, when I first started to go there, it was really heartbreaking just to see all these drowned wasps. And while I'm filling the water up, if I see a wasp is in trouble, I will go and rescue it and take it out. And what's really interesting is that many of those wasps that I rescue, I just put them on the side. Once they've dried their wings, maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 out of 10, as soon as they fly off, they will land on me. And it's almost like they've come to give me a hug, you know, to say thanks. It's a really nice spot because it really makes me think. The sun is there and it's beaming down, and I'm looking at the sun and I'm looking at all the insects, and I really do feel a connection to them, you know, even though they're so different from us in terms of physicality. As when you get inside, they're the same. They have a soul, and it comes from the same place that our soul comes from. And to be able to save them, you know, whether I'm intervening in the natural course of transition, you know, so be it. But I feel good when I save those wasps. I feel very grateful that I was given the opportunity to save that life, you know. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dimitri, for sharing. That's beautiful. Yes, every life is valuable, huh? Definitely. Does anybody else want to share with us?
Hello.
Hello?
Can I share something?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you mind giving us your name, please?
My name is Chin Chin.
Hi, Chin Chin. How are you?
Because now it's winter. We are I'm in Canada. I live in the temperature under -20. The temperature is very low. And last time I have present for the house of the plasma.
Yes.
And now I present on my bed. Because I have to walk myself on the bed, because you see the temperature is under 20 in my house. I keep in 18, but the floor is under 18. Only why my foot is only cold. It keep cold. Now I have to if I want to sleep, I have to keep my leg warm. Now, the first thing, can I share the screen, please?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. 1 minute, please.
Yes, I remember the last time. I think you were sharing how you were
Yeah,
heating your house.
yeah. Now you're in my bed.
Now you see how you heat your bed.
That's
This
probably the
is
best place to keep warm in. Yep.
yeah. Yeah. Now I'm thinking for everybody. I want to keep warm for everybody for this winter and for the other winter. The first one is my bed. Please, can I speak French? Is better because my English I'm missing some word.
Sure, go slow, and
Ok,
I'll translate for you.
ok. Voici mon lit et ici c'est
Mattress?
hmm,
Your mattress?
oui, c'est le matelas.
Okay.
Premièrement, je dois mettre mon pied doit être à chaud. Pour
So
mettre mon pied à chaud, ici c'est mon oreiller.
that's his
Ici,
pillow.
au pied, je mets ici c'est un bouillotte d'eau chaude.
A hot water bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Et autour du bouillotte,
Around the hot water bottle.
je mets une couverture
Okay.
de 7 pas, puisque si je m'endors, je mets les pieds ici. Ça réchauffe mes pieds.
So
Puisque cette couverture garde le chaud dans cet environnement.
so I'll just translate what he's saying. So by putting a hot water bottle and a blanket around his bed and the hot water bottle, go ahead. Do you add Ganses there somewhere?
Yes, après.
Okay.
Après, puisque je mets comme ça, avant, lorsque je dors, je mets au lit mes pieds pour réchauffer, prend à peu près une demi-heure.
Avec la bouteille ou pas?
Non, avec le bouillon, là. Ça réchauffe mon pied, ça prend une demi-heure.
So normally when he uses just a hot water bottle, it takes half an hour for his feet to warm up.
Et après, je vois que, puisque je sais que le CO2, c'est la matière pour communication, alors j'ai mis sur le couvre-lit, j'ai vaporisé avec le CO2.
So he sprayed his blanket and the bed with CO2?
Oui. Et la couverture, je vaporise avec aussi du CO2.
And
C'est à
also,
l'intérieur.
okay, so both blanket and the cover are sprayed with CO2.
Sur la couverture, je mets doublé ou triplé celui que j'ai mis dans la couverture.
Sur le lit?
Sur le lit, je mets 3 fois plus que sur la couverture.
Okay, so
c'est pour y avoir une différence.
Yeah, a gradient. He creates a gradient by putting 3 times the amount to spray on the bed and then 1 time the amount on the blanket.
Puisqu'il fait froid, je dors mal. Alors j'ai mis aussi, j'ai vaporisé le ZNO sur mon oreiller.
And he sprayed ZNO on his pillow.
Et j'ai mis un peu de ZNO sur ma surface.
And a little bit on his face.
Lorsque j'entre comme ça dans mon lit, mon pied réchauffe dans 5 minutes.
As soon as he goes into his bed fixed up like that, his feet warm up in 5 minutes.
Et je dois mettre mon pied au-dessus de cette couverture-là, puisqu'il fait trop chaud là.
And then he gets so warm he has to take his feet out of that cover.
Et toute la nuit, je suis très, très réchauffé. Et je dors très bien. Et tous mes mal s'en vont, puisque ça ressemble à un rectangle. Pour tout mon corps.
So all the pains leave his body. He sleeps extremely well, and he's made himself his own little bed reactor. That's a brilliant idea.
Oui. Je vois que si je mets, puisque mes idées, c'est bien de simplifier tout ce que je vois. Au lieu de mettre des tuyaux et tout ça, je fais directement sur mon lit.
Rather than using coils or anything like that. He just uses his bedding for the purpose by using sprays and stuff. Excellent.
C'est pourquoi, pour les 3 premiers jours, je mets, et maintenant, je ne mets plus, et ça garde toujours les chaleurs.
So he only added those zinc sprays and the copper CO2 spray for the first 3 days, and he stopped now. How many days has it been since he stopped?
No, for 3 days.
3 days. Mais après, tu as arrêté.
Oui, c'est garder toujours au chaud, puisqu'il y a toujours de liquide plasma sur le lit et sur la couverture.
Oui, mais tu dis que tu as arrêté
de mettre le CO2, tout ça,
ouais.
Après 3 jours.
Après 3 jours. Et depuis ces 3 jours, ça fait combien de temps? C'est ça que je te dis.
Mais ça fait aussi 3 jours. Je viens de commencer seulement.
Okay, he started 6 days ago, and the first 3 days he sprayed it. And now he hasn't, but it's continuing to keep him warm. Very good, Tinchin.
Oui, puisque j'essaie de faire quelque chose le plus simple possible pour qu'on peut utiliser le liquide plasma pour notre corps. Là. Puisque j'ai partagé ça pour les Vietnamiens, pour les Français, et maintenant je vois que c'est utile pour tous les autres.
So he shared this with the Vietnamese and with the French group, and now he wants to make sure we also know, and please pass this on to other people to do
Voilà.
this. Thank you, Mr. Chin.
J'espère que dans cet hiver-là, vous serez bien à chaud.
He hopes that this will keep everybody warm this winter using this technique. Est-ce que tu veux que je check s'il y a des questions?
Oui, comme vous voulez.
Does anybody have any questions for Chin Chin? It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's brilliant.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, Chin Chin.
Yes.
Did you try to use CH3 instead CO2?
No, I use only CO2 for the bed and ZNO for my pillow.
Okay. But you didn't try to use CH3.
I think I don't need because CO2 is enough because it is a good communication for our body.
Okay. Thank you.
If you want to put CH3, you have to try and say us about your experience, please. Thank you.
Because, you know, I remember Caroline once when I told her I have cold feet and I'm working outside in the winter. And so she said, try to spray CH3 in the shoes and see what will happen. It will help.
Yes, thank you. You have remembered me. For the CH3 on the foot, I think you have to put on your shoes 2 parts on the bottom of the shoes and on the top of the shoes, and you have a reactor. It's better.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for Chin Chin?
I wonder how many of us will try that out now. Beautiful.
So cozy we won't come out of our beds. We'll go, okay, I'm in heaven now.
I hope this one can useful for everybody because everybody have gets now. Right? This winter is very cold. In United States, it's very cold now.
And in Canada, you're right.
And Canada is too cold.
Thank you so much, Chin Chin.
Welcome.
Chin Chin, may I just ask, when you sprayed it on, how much did you spray on? I know it was like 3 parts to 1, but you know, where, for instance, the sheet was sprayed on top, and that was 1 part. You measured out in terms of volume?
Because I put the liquid plasma of CO2 on the bottom to spray, and I spray. I spray like 6 times on the bed and over the my blanket. I put only 3 times.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
May I add something to think about?
Yes.
When we think about particles and we think about energy, what is the energy of an electron? That's all I want to say. And then you have to think a bit about it in order to get a little more warmth. I have a new theory, but I haven't done it in practice yet. But think about this.
Oh, don't tease us like that, Eric. Just give us a little bit more chance. So what was the question? What is the power of an electron? Is that what you said? Or what is an electron?
Yeah, when we think about particles, what is the energy of the particles? If you have one electron, how much energy do you have in comparison with 1,000 electrons? Now you have enough to
Thank you.
solve.
Yes. Thank you. Anybody else wants to share or comment or contribute? It's what we're here for. It's very nice to see so many people show up. Please don't be shy.
Okay. If nobody else has anything to add or to show, then we might as well wrap up here. Do you have anything else, Liberty?
No, I don't have anything else to add except great gratitude to you, Danny, that this is a year and a week. I mean, a year and a month now. What, 13 months or 14?
I think it was the 14th.
Number 14. Wow.
I am back.
There's Jalal. He wants to add.
Yeah.
Yay. So congratulations to everybody who's made this possible.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
Jalal's going to add some more to it.
Let me show you.
Of course.
Show us more. Would you like to share or?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Hi.
Yep, we see you. Hi.
Okay. Okay. That's my copy. Take it out. You see, this one here says 80 watts. You don't see it there. So it's saying taking 8 watts. If you see now,
We do, but it's hard to hear you.
Yeah. How much did you say was written on that?
80 watts.
80. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 80. And if you see the measurement,
Yes, it's somewhere between 57 and 60. Is that correct?
No, 59, 60. You see it now, right?
Yes, I can see it, yeah. So has it been like that from the beginning, or do you see that it's going down slowly?
No, it's still in this position. Now it's, you see, it's going up from 57 to 60.
That's really interesting, Jalal, that you've got like a averaging 25% reduction in power usage. It would be interesting. It would be interesting to see with different setups of those three cores how much it can be reduced.
Yes, yes. You see, it is still in that. Okay, we can stay until tomorrow in this position. Stay with me, and
No,
we will see how.
we got Frederique who offered to show us her X-ray. She's healing, done a remarkable job
Okay,
healing
I will stop
herself.
there.
So, not to take that away, but I don't think we're ready to stay with you till tomorrow.
Okay.
Let
Okay.
me just add something.
Yes.
Those of you who saw last New Year, I showed something in these holiday meetings about how to convert the energy. When you have a macro and you add something that is a capacitive load or something that is an inductive load, like the motor you have there, that's an inductive load. When you use these devices together with the macro, you see an energy saving. Try to take something like a little electric heater or something. If your wife has something to make curly hair or something like that, just a resistive load of the macro, and try see how much you save. That's a good little exercise. Thank you.
I will try it now.
Okay. Are we good? Can we get Frederique now to share her
Yeah.
X-ray? Okay, thank you.
Just to Jalal that you have to test the load of this heating device with and without the macro. Try to test the load that do not depend upon what it's stamped on the device. Measure it and then measure with the macro inserted. Thank you.
Okay. Now, with the background, I have this.
Very hard to hear you, Jalal.
With the background, I have it now here 60. I will take it out and give it the normal load, and I will see how much it consumes. The same machine. You hear me what I said? I will try it now with the normal output without the maggraph, and I will see how much it will take.
Yes. I heard you. Yes, that was actually recommended by somebody else here in the chat to find out if that is the real wattage.
Let's see, where is that?
May I suggest that Jalal gets some time to test this out, and then we could continue and have Jalal afterwards.
You can continue.
Okay.
I'm just hearing you.
All right then. We'll come back to you later then, and
Yes.
we might have some news from Frederic, yeah? Frederic, can you hear us?
Yes, sure. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Welcome. Happy New Year.
Welcome,
New Year.
Frederic. Yes.
Thank you. So last month I was here with you to explain you I had a horse riding accident and my lumbar number 1 was broken. And since this moment I've seen the doctor and I have done an X-ray at the hospital. And I wanted to show you the radio, the X-ray. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, please.
And I will show you. It's not fixed yet. It's still broken. He said that it was normal and it needs 3 months to be consolidated. But he said I was lucky because I have work, I have made my staff home, and I have not moved the lumbar. I am looking for another, yes, I got it. Terminé. So I am not a doctor. It's not easy for me to read this radio. Yeah. Maybe the other one is easier. Yes, this one is better. So this is, you can see on the screen, this is a normal vertebral. Yes, is it the good word, vertebral? You understand me?
Yes, vertebra.
Yes.
Yep.
So this is a good one. You can see it's the line. I'm going to take the pen.
Is this now the top of your spine or the end? For all those.
It's lumbar number 1, just after the one attached to the head, you know, cervicals, and then you have lumbars.
Yes, thank you.
So here you can see it's straight almost, and there's some space between the 2 ones. And on the other one, the number 1, trying to move my hair, we can see the difference. You see here it's broken. Marker. It's not straight like this one. And there was some space between this one and this one. And here you have no more space. And with all this, I have no pain. I don't suffer. Sometimes my back is tired. I have to go to lie on a bed or on an armchair. But I have no pain. I'm still using Ganses and the Keshe pain pad, you know, sold in the factory. And using the Ganses I'm making. And a friend offered me some pads too with different Ganses. And I can say that Keshe technology is very efficient because I do not suffer, I have no pain, and I have a severe injury. So I am thanking Mr. Keshe and all Keshe Foundation for this. And I'm going to show you something else. This is my cat. So in December, I wanted to adopt a cat because I have a lot of mouses in all over the house, running everywhere and making their poopies everywhere. So I called a refugee camp, a kind of refugee camp for cat. You understand me when I for refugee world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rescue.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. A kind of rescue camp for cats. And this poor cat was alone since 1 year because nobody wants this cat because he has a problem with his leg and he can't walk normally. He's limping, to limp. Is it correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So in home we don't care if the cat is limping, so we just took this one, and she's very nice and very sweet. And a few weeks ago, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, the lady from the rescue cat camp, come home, and she see the cat, and she said, "Oh, what's happening? It seems she's not limping so much as before." And I have a big smile, you know, because I thought about the ganses. We are giving her some gans to drink. And there's a my grab home. There's a couch is near my stock of bottle of gans. So, well, I can't tell the gans did this, but probably, I guess. And it's very funny because when she came home, it was very hard for her to walk, you know. And now she's running in the house. She's climbing the stairs. I wanted to share this with you because we can see on the radio her bone has been totally broken, and it consolidated in this like this. So there's no wound. I don't remember the name. Open wound. Yes, it's correct. I think it's closed. You know.
Yeah.
And it's consolidated. The radio show that the bones were broken, but they stick together in this position. It's why she has a shorter leg than the other one, and she's limping. That's all. It's if you have questions, maybe I can answer. I can try.
Well, that's amazing. Isn't it wonderful? So you forgot to mention she turned out to be a good mouser, huh?
Yes, she is. That makes me sad because I just want the mouses go out, you know. I don't want to hurt them, or so sometimes we are able to catch the mouses in the mouth of the cat and put them away outside.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to kill them. I just want them stop to make their poopies everywhere in my all armories. Well, it's not the good word. Everywhere in the house, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's a beautiful story, though, about the cat. Wow. And you're right. It shows the power of the gans in the air and the environment of your house, too.
Yes, probably. And she's drinking some CO2 too. Because she was a little afraid with the dog, you know, sometimes. So I told my daughter, so just give her some CO2 gases. Maybe she's going to act better with the dog. And it's better, not so well, but it's okay. Better.
Does anybody else have questions for Frederic?
Some wonderful news there. Thank you, Frederic.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening.
I'm glad you're better. You're moving around and you sound good.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
For how long you apply the ganses for the cat, and then you notice the difference?
I noticed the difference the first evening at the hospital because I was suffering a lot. It was very painful. And just when I took my Gans bottle on my stomach, you know, I put it on my stomach, I can feel the effect 1 hour or maybe 2 hours after this. the pain has gone, and it didn't came back. I took some aspirin. I don't know the name in English. It's acid acetylic.
Acetaminophen.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just
and
like an aspirin.
it's not very. Sorry, maybe.
Is it coming aspirin? Aspirin?
Yes,
Acetamin.
that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Same word?
Yep.
Okay. So I only take some aspirin and with some Gens water, and it's not something very strong, you know. They wanted to give me some morphine, and I refused because it's a drug, you know. And I just took the aspirin with the Gens water, and maybe 1 or 2 hours after, and I didn't what, I don't remember. Yeah, I think I took the aspirin with the Gens water, and 1 or 2 hours after, I don't have any more pain. And then for the 3-4 first days, I drink my aspirin every 6 hours with my Gens water, and I have some patches everywhere around me. And then I only took 4, then 3, then 2, and I stopped. The 5th day, I have no more aspirin and only CO2 and the ZNO gases and some patches. The patches were done with some CH3, CU, calcium, CO2. I have 2, a stronger and a weaker. I put one on my stomach and another one on my back. I still have them. And on my bed, I have some CO2 gases on the foots, ZNO on the head, and I'm sleeping in a room where my Gens bottle of water Gens bottles are stocked, so there's everywhere. My grab is upstairs, and I have a second one in the kitchen. Did I answer well to your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And for the cat, she's only drinking CO2 water.
May I suggest that you give her a little bit of CUO also? Not every day,
Yeah.
but
For
just maybe
the muscles?
5%. Just 5%. And
okay,
also,
thank you for the advice.
also a little bit of CH3.
Okay, CO2 for the muscles, but CH3 for the energy?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the CUO, it repairs the nerves. That could maybe would be something for you also.
Yeah. A friend of mine told me I should take some CUO2, and I took some 1 or 2 times, but not so much. That's true. I should take some more.
Yes, that's part of repairing nerves, at least nerves. But I think there's more things that is beneficial for. But I'm not the complete expert in that. But now I have the open microphone. Remember, Mr. Keshe, he says that when you travel in space and you travel with your soul and you come to some nice place and you think, here I want to be. Then you manifest yourself in that place according to the fields in that place. And as Mr. Keshe said, that maybe means you have 20 legs or whatever because of the fields in that place. So what is Mr. Keshe actually saying? He's saying that your soul builds you a new body. That is what he say. But of course, you cannot build any body you want. You have to adhere to the fields in that place, and those fields dictate a certain look and composition of the body. Now we are here on Earth, and we have some fields here, and we have some look here. What if we go to a level where we can manifest our body like we want, like Mr. Keshe says? And in your case, you have a problem with this vertebrae. What if your soul is so strong and has the knowledge not to manifest a whole body, but just this single vertebrae and maybe the neighbor also? Would you be fresh and okay again, fully? That's something to think about, because that is what Mr. Keshe tells us. He doesn't say things directly. He always wants to feed us a little bit and let us think about it. Just my 2 cents on that.
I think we're all moving in that direction as we can. And I think that's, yes. And I also feel like Frederique is so strong, and despite the fact that she has broken this vertebrae, she's still functioning quite amazingly, and that she's not feeling any pain. Yes, the GANs are definitely involved in that, but so is she very involved in that, because
yes, sure, you're right.
Yeah.
I made the choice of not suffering, Said, now what's happening is up to me. I can start crying and say, oh my God, I am hurt. I can do this, or I can say, okay, I won't suffer. I am creating my own reality, and GANs are here, and then they are helping me to do this, probably. Or they are giving me this idea that I can create my own reality, and it works together, Saul, GANs, it's a combination. And it's easier for us to find back the way to our soul if we have the GANs, because at the first beginning, if we don't have them, we will go in this direction, then this other one, and we are going to look for the good way. With the GANs, we don't have to look so much, because the way just is in front of us. We just have to walk on the line and to follow it. It's easier and it's faster than, and maybe it would have taken us 20 years, 30 years, or an entire life, and maybe more, to understand that we have the power with our soul to create our reality. Before entering in this GANs world, I didn't knew this. I heard about it, but my mind didn't understood it. With the GANs, I heard it again, but this time my mind has understood it and knows that I can do something. I can do the difference. I can do something to change the things and to find back the way to my soul and to decide what is happening right now. It's not easy every day, and we have to not to fight, but we have to go in the opposite direction of what our education teached us, because we were domesticated You know, like you, is it the correct word, domesticated?
Well, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, yeah, well, we were. It's a term that we don't use on humans too often, but we should be, because that's what happened to us. Yes.
Yes, it's a strong word, but what's happening is very strong. We are domesticated because at the school, at home, they teach us to eat badly. We eat bad stuff, you know, that are making us sick. We teach us, well, what has been taught us is the way to forget what is our soul and how to reach it and how to communicate and how to be in our soul. So sure, ganses are helping, but sure, there's a work to do with our own soul too, to understand what's happening and what we have to do to reach it. I hope my English was not so.
No, it was beautiful, Frederic. It was beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We understand what you say. And when we are talking about this soul and elevating the soul, remember I said that everything is about sympathetic vibration. If you have something that is in sympathetic vibration with something else, you get amplification. And you heard Mr. Keshe said that the sink is for the emotions, and the emotions is the filter for the soul. So if you drink ZNO liquid plasma in the evening, I just drink a glass of a liquid plasma every evening before I go to bed. That is a part of elevating your soul, where the ganses help you. And of course, you have to teach and practice also, but that is an easy way to do some of it. Just an advice you can follow if you want. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Frederic. And you're right. It's all about amplifying. The GANs are amplifiers. So if you're having negative thoughts, they're going to amplify the negative thoughts, which is why it's such a wonderful fail-proof way to prevent it from being used by people who want to create harm, because they will create harm to themselves. Ooh, what do you have going? Ooh, look at that, Joel. Okay, how much? I guess I don't really know what I'm looking at. And if you're speaking, we can't hear you, Jalal. Eric, can you tell me what he's showing us? Because I'm not sure I can explain that.
He shows the energy meter, but he doesn't tell us what he's measuring.
You coming through, Jalal? We can't hear you.
Measuring without the maggraph.
No, we still can't hear you. You're muted. Thank you, Willie.
Okay, you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, before it was when we started with the maggraph from 60, 58, 57. And this one is direct. You see, it's measuring from 63, 64, 66, 65. You see, this is without maggraph.
Yes, and what is your measuring? The heating element or the motor?
The watt. 64 watts. 65, 66.
Yes, and the
When I
motor,
put it to the macro,
is it the motor you are measuring? We hear the motor running. Is it that you are measuring?
yeah, this one is the same one.
Yeah, okay.
When I start this one, just before, when I put it, it measured 60 and 59, 58, 57. And the same machine direct to the cable, it's measuring this amount. You see 66, 65, 64, 63, it's coming up and down.
Is that the machine that was supposed to have 80 or?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Jalala, it would be interesting to see if you, because you say the CuO2 you used is one that you made really quickly. It'd be interesting to see if you used a CuO2, whatever, that was made slowly, if there was an increase in reduction of wattage if the triple core unit became more efficient.
Yeah, I have it here.
But right now we have something that is operating, and we see approximately 10% saving, right? But if you then take a heating element and use that as load instead, with and without the macros, try to give us these numbers also.
Yes, yes, of course. I will do that. You want it now? Or in the next testimony?
If you're ready, why not? It's very fast to just take the plug out and put it in again.
Okay, let me bring the hairdryer of my wife, and I hope it will pop.
But you know, the hairdryer is something special because it also has a motor in it. But to see the fully my point is you have to take something that has no motor, just a heating element. Soldering iron. Do you have a soldering?
Or your wife's curling iron or something like that, something that's just minimal.
You'll get in trouble for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I will get in trouble on that. Okay, no problem. For the Keshe Foundation, it's no problem. I have another houses to sleep in. No problem. Okay, just give me 25 seconds. I'm coming.
We do have someone who commented in the chat that a heating element is not relevant at all. If you have a look at your whole house, for example, the power factor is never 1. Can you translate that for me, Eric, or whomever? Because
the power factor is about how the phase is between voltage and current. If you have a resistor and you have alternating current through the resistor, then you will have no phase shift between the current and the voltage. At the time where the voltage is the maximum, the current is also at the maximum. If you have an inductor, then the current will come after the maximum voltage. If you have a capacitor, the current will come before the maximum voltage. If you have zero phase skew, i.e. that the maximum voltage is coincident with the maximum current in time, then you have a power factor of 1. If you have a phase shift, you have a power factor less than 1. And the more the phase shift, the lower the power factor. And the problem about this with the power factor is that if you have a power factor of half and you have a device that loads maybe 100 watts, then you are charged for 200 watts because you are charged for it what equals to a power factor of 1. So this is one way to save electricity, is to take all devices in the house. Now we're not talking macro, we're just talking before macro. If you wanted to save the maximum on your energy bill, then you had to power factor correct all devices in the house in order to save on the bill. But if you have a power factor of 1 and you put that on the macro, the saving is very small, if any. There's a little bit saving, but not much. But when you have devices in the house where the power factor is below 1, then you see the savings. And of course, the more nano-coated wires in the house, the better. Because all the wires with the nano-coating are also doing a conversion from the plasma to ordinary electricity. That's also what we use the plasma capacitors for in the macro. That's my understanding. Thank you.
Okay, now I put the iron in, and it started by it's 1,700, and I think it stopped. I don't know why. I told you it will burn. You see, I noticed that. I hope not.
I suggested you used your soldering iron. That's maximum 100 watt.
This is 1,700.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It start again.
Yeah,
it's 1,700. Yeah, it is stopped now. 1,726.
That iron has a thermostat in it, so it will turn off. It's nothing.
Yeah, it will turn on and off.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Jalal said? Oh, that Willie said, Jalal? Because it's a thermostat. Because
yeah.
Okay.
It is have thermostat, and it will stop until it cool again, and will start again. I know that. Let me check what is the positive and negative of that, and then I will come to you. Okay. Where is my...
And while you are thinking about this, I will add that this property of the macro with a power factor of 1, a resistive element, is very relevant, because my natural gas furnace was getting broke last spring, and I have closed for the natural gas for the house. No natural gas anymore. I have made the plasma heating in my house, and it gives me 8 degrees, but no more. So the rest of the difference I have to supply by other means. And I was thinking of the Maghreb. I can save current or save the electricity bill with just use electric radiators. But that's a no-go. I have to do an extra device to do that. If you just take the Maghreb and a normal heating electric heater, you save almost nothing, if anything. So it is relevant in my case.
Okay,
Because
guys,
the heating of the house is many kilowatts, and the remaining loads in the house, like the fridge or some lamps, are so little a fraction of the energy used for the heating elements that the power factor is very close to 1. Thank you.
If anyone knows what is the plus and minus in that, I don't see anything here.
For a resistive element, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's here in my graph. There is plus and minus.
Yeah, but use your field sensor to identify the live.
Where? Here, and this one, and this one.
When you want to connect your Maghreb, then you have to use the 3 coils has to be connected to the live line, and you can identify that with your field sensor. And when you want to connect a purely resistive element to the Maghreb, it doesn't matter if you turn it one or the other way.
By the Maghreb, it's not working, only for the plus and minus. If I will get short, I don't know. Let me see. I know. Anyone have a free bed today?
No, don't you wreck your iron. Don't do it. Don't do it. And do you have rubber boots on? Oh, Jalal.
This is Jalal's Kitchen Live.
Yeah, alive, huh? You remember last time?
No.
Last time when I kicked alive. This is minus. This one.
In case all electricity disappear, I will say thank you, Jalal, for your presentation. Yeah. Maybe you go in black in a minute.
We're all watching with anticipation here.
I know you will thank me, my guys. This is very, very easy to thanks. This is one. Okay, I will go start. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Good, he's still there.
Yeah, so far so good. Thank you, Jalal.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have 1,666. It was 1,720. You remember, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And now it stopped the resistors, and we will wait for seconds, and we'll start again, and we'll see how much it will take to kick up.
So you've got a small saving, but not half of it.
You wanted half of it?
Yeah, or better, save 90%.
Yeah, you are very greedy. It is just, this is only one part, and it's not even a minutes in the grid. And if you want to save, really saving, you need to leave it at least to 2 weeks or more. and then you will nano-coat all the line, and then you will have more efficiency. And you don't forget, you need to test all these wires again, and the connection, and CO2 to the CH3 and all of that. Let's see now, it will talk up or not. Something is clicked there. Let's see from down.
I'm impressed, Jalal. There's definitely a reduction using your Maglev unit.
168. Start 168. Last time it start 170, 20 or 1720, 1725, and there is a little amount of reduction. So let me turn it out. Is it okay with you guys?
We're waiting for the 90% reduction now, Jalal.
For 90%?
Do you mind hurrying up?
Then we have to think that's very unpleasant.
I will have 100% reduction when it will kick out this fuse out.
Oh my. Well, it's a nice return to class, so to speak, because this is the prelude.
Mm-hmm. It does feel like class, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. And I really enjoy watching you guys doing that and burning your fingers, because I don't know if I would be able to do it. And I know there's others here with us that have a lot of experience and do a lot of experiments as well. So,
yeah.
Very much appreciated.
Don't do it again. Make it every 2 months.
It's like you said, Jalal, because the cable of the iron is not nano-coated, the reduction's not going to be as much as it could be, and it's a huge amount of power to leave on, to let it become nano-coated, but definitely something with a smaller energy consumption that you could leave on consistently, so the plasma would flow, and then that would become nano-coated. And maybe take a video of whatever appliance it is. I mean, a soldering iron was mentioned. If you have the money to just leave that on 24 hours a day, take a video of it as soon as you plug it into to your Maglev there, and then however long it takes, a couple of weeks. By the end of those 2 weeks, then it should be, because the cable joining it to the Maglev unit will become nano-coated. The saving and the reduction in energy used should be a lot more substantial than just the initial plugging it in, which you have made a reduction on, which is absolutely fantastic. So there's my round of applause to you, brother. Well done.
Thank you, Dimitri. And for the idea, I don't mind that. If we are collectively, we are 27 here, everyone sent me €1 for how many days I can put it, for 2 weeks. Let's try 3 weeks. So everyone €30 he sent me. That would be good. 600, 700. That is good business. And we will see if we reach a reduction in the amount of electricity. And don't you forget it, I will not send you anything back. I'm just joking.
I think that's not possible, Jalal, because your wife might want to have her iron back. She might give it to you for 30 days.
But Jalal, you should not use the iron. the best thing you can put to a new macro is the fridge.
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
you are pushing it too hard. I will destroy my fridge here. I have it here. I have one there.
You will not
It's already
destroy
there.
it.
I'm waiting.
Oh, that's a freezer. You can use it on the freezer also, but I was talking about the fridge. You know, that was
normal fridge.
yeah.
But what I
freezer or fridge, that will be the best load for it.
Well, just go upstairs now and get the fridge, will you, Jalal? We wait. We wait.
That will cost you.
Oh my God! The cat of what do you call it? Ate my tongue. I couldn't speak. Eric, yeah, Frederick.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's good. It's good to see something.
Yes.
Even
Thank you for your experiment and thanks for sharing.
No, thank you to
Thank
push
you.
me to do that. This is beautiful. No, really. But thanks God, nothing happened. Then I will kill you one of the other.
Well done. Thank you. And thank you everybody else for adding and sharing. It's beautiful.
And thank you for the laughter. That was a beautiful comment. And, you know, laughter is so good for us. The more we can laugh, the better we make the world.
Yes. We just let Jalal come on more often and then we all have a good laugh. Right, Jalal?
Yeah, I am, what do you call it?
The clown chakra.
That's the clown.
And that's from Alberto, sweet Alberto, yeah.
Yeah, and one more note, when you load your new macro with the fridge, add 25 watt normal incandescent bulb to it. So you have two loads, the 25 volt lamp and the fridge. That I think that will be the fastest.
Should I put in the fridge meat or fish?
No dead cats, at least.
No dead cats. Maybe a few mice, but not really.
And certainly not your wife.
She will come and present me in the fridge.
Yeah,
if you keep it up, she just might.
Wonderful. Okay, anybody else? Any questions for Jalal or anything to add or to share? Please come forward.
What do you call it? This is in Spanish. Trio, ono, trio, pollo. What is that? Which language is that?
Well, it could be Italian or Spanish, depends how you say it.
It's definitely not your language, Jalal.
No. You will not comprehend. But you are learning, you know, in the teaching. Mr. Keshe is pushing you to learn these words.
Yes.
So.
Hello, here is Joseph from Austria. I have only one question. I have a GANS box till December running. I have nine gatherings of the GANs of it, and it changes slightly the color, but I don't know how to test it. Have you some suggestions for me?
Can we ask you which kind of GANs you are doing?
CH3. I have 9 glasses of the CH3, but I don't know how to test if it's really CH3, because the box is producing in the first time zinc oxide, and then it starts to produce CH3, and now I have 9 gatherings of it. It changes slightly the color, but I have no test to test which gathering is CH3 and which gathering got another combination.
Okay. Did you do it with a load or without load?
Without load, I did it with silicium diode and 2 resistors, that the current flow is a little bit smaller. And I did it with natrium chloride as salt. And yes, it functions very well. I have gathered from a 1.3 liter box, I gathered 300 milliliter of GANs. But it's producing and producing and producing every gathering of this box don't has a magnetic. If I use a 25 kilogram magnet, a neodymium magnet, I cannot attract the ganses. But I heard that only the first gatherings of CH3 are really CH3.
Okay. What you used, the salt, what you said, natrium chloride?
Yes, natrium chloride. Sodium chloride, sorry.
Sodium chloride.
Sodium chloride, yes.
Okay. This is the normal and Cl, NaCl. So the same method what you done, we done here, and what we have as our knowledge is saying this is CH3.
Yes, I did it right. I did it with a zinc-coated iron plate and a nano-coated copper plate. Everything looks perfect, but till 1 month of production, I haven't found a GANS that is magnetic. And somewhere I heard from Shandor, I think that only the first gatherings of this box, only the first GANSes that are produced are CH3.
Yeah, look.
And then it should change, but I can't detect some change, because I want to let this box run for 1 or 2 months and to see the change, where the material starts to get something other to transmute, or when the material is not CH3, but it's producing and producing and producing, and I don't find a measurement or a method to see some change.
Okay, do you want to see my kit? Maybe I can show you. It's the same.
Can I just ask what percentage of salt you put in your solution?
Nearly 10%. I have it not exactly, but nearly 10%. If you want, I can show you the the pictures of it.
Yeah, go ahead. But 10 for me, especially, I didn't use 10%. I always trying from 3 to 7%. Maximum I use 7%. But I don't know if 10% is changing the gases That's I don't know, but I know even you can go to 11 and 12 and 13%.
I think that's why your box is continually producing, is because of the high content of salt. If you had a less concentrated amount of salt in there, I don't think it would continue to produce. It's maybe something that you need to experiment with, because without the salt, it takes without salt, it takes a very, very, very long time to produce GANs, but it will produce GANs. But with the salt, the ions in the salt, I believe it's the ions in the salt, they speed it up. So, oh wow, beautiful.
So you want to say if I put more salt in there, then the third hydrogen atom finds to the CH3 combination?
If what I was saying is, if you put less salt in there, it won't continue producing for as long. 10% is very, very strong salt content in the solution.
Okay.
And it's possible, if Sandor said that the only like the first, once it's finished producing zinc and then it starts to produce CH3, if you had a lower salt content in there, then that CH3 that was produced would get to a point where it would stop producing, and then it's most likely that what has been produced is definitely the CH3. I'm amazed that it's still producing. Your setup's fantastic. Do you have a picture of your setup?
Yes, here. This is the box and it's closed, but there are holes in there. Here is the silicium diode and the two resistors, that the current flow gets smaller. And yes, it's 1.3 liter and it's producing like crazy. And I have, but I only have, I don't have a test of it. Everything looks like CH3. The fields I can feel are CH3, but I don't got the point till 6 weeks that the box is producing something else. That's the...
Do you get it from the Ganses that have been produced, going down the line of them? Do you get a different feeling from them?
No, but I'm not good at measuring with my own body. I got some feedback, but I can't determine small changes.
Have you taken a magnet to the Ganses?
Yes, a 25 kilo magnet, a magnet with a force field of 25 kilo, and nothing happens.
Okay.
At all gatherings. And I have 9 at the moment, and it's producing and producing and producing. And I thought I make some little glasses and send it to the Keshe Foundation. Maybe they can test it, or yes, because I have there a box that is producing CH3, I think, but I don't can test it, measure it.
Can I ask you one thing?
Yes.
Your box is up in the height in the heater.
Yes.
Is the heater on all the time?
Not all the time. It is heating 1 hour, and then 1.5 hours it is not heating. It depends on the cold. If there is more cold, then it heats longer and hotter. And if it's less cold outside, then it's heating just as more.
So you have, you know what I think? I think the environment where you put your box. It's influence the processing of the gas producing. If you take this box out of the heater, you take it out, you put it where it's the temperature is nearly normal, and see it again. You check it again 1, 2, 3 days. If is it still producing the same amount of gases? Because
yes, it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder because I have 3 boxes. 3 boxes at this heater. There is a bigger field. I took one heater only for CH3. I took one heater only for the CO2 productions, and I took another heater in another room for the CO2 productions.
Okay. Do you have any amino acid in the top?
Yes.
Or how much amount?
Not much. I think medium or small.
Okay, that's why you have much more producing of gases because you closed the way to the amino acid to develop in your top in the reactor. Yes, you have only a little bit holes in the top that is keeping the surface of your water without closed in the amino acid. When it's closed in the amino acid, then the producing of the gas, it will come low. But if you don't have this amino acid in the top, the fields will always you have changing in the fields because also of the heater, and also because it's not really closed in the environment of the amino acid. You see, when we are producing gases here, especially I am here living with gases, I notice the same thing what you have. When I have more free area, the amino acid, it will not present itself only after maybe start after 1 week or 10 days. And then how much amount of amino acid, how much amount of gases it will reduce. More your amino acid, more the gases it will reduce. But when you don't have this amino acid, your gases always producing more and more gases.
I have only a small amount of amino acids because every time I get the amino acids out with the gases in the washing process. So every time it gets a new, the old water but without the acids, and then it produces.
Yeah, because you have producing. Look, the amount of gases will stop only when there is no more oxygen in the water. This is the only time when your gases will stop. When you put more oxygen in your reactors, you will always have gases. That's why when Mr. Keshe said, when you put air pump in your reactors, you will have gases because you always have the oxygen, the puller.
Yes, but at CH3 we don't need oxygen. The oxygen we need at zinc, CO, and CO2.
Yes, but also you need the oxygen even in the CH3.
Okay.
But one thing you can do to keep it producing longer is that you first extract the amino acid from the top of the container.
Yes.
and save it, and then you harvest your GANs and you put back the amino acid.
Okay.
That will help.
Thank you for the answers. When I will start to show all the boxes I have and some other stuff, but today I haven't prepared for it. I only wanted to ask if somebody knows how to test the GANs, because I want to be sure that it's not toxic and it's good GANs, so I can use it for everything.
If you like, I will show you my my box, and I will show you how much amount of CH3 I have and how much still having all the time. I will show you if you allow me.
Yes, yes. Just a moment.
I have a little question. Why you take this box cover on in top, and why you're taking it in heater? No.
Because there was a good place for it.
Temperature room.
Yes.
Why it's covered? Because
it's a working place here, and there is some dust that occurs and some other things, and therefore I have the closed lid on, and there I have only these little holes that the atmosphere can go in.
You produce CF3 with zinc chicken mesh and copper nanocoating?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Shandor, I say first person in CF, no? Carbon oxide 2, and after passing in the CH3. Always in Romania. I make guns in atmospheric condition. Don't cover. You need amino acid in top. You.
Yes, I know what you want to tell me, but I have these boxes because I found some dust in there. Because I'm working here, I'm working with wood, with metal, and some other things too, and there is many dust in there. And the boxes not to get this dust in there, so I have the lid and only some little holes, and I achieve amino acids too. I have tried. I can show you my CO2 box. It's in the near.
For no have a contamination of another materials.
Look, my friend, you can use as like this one if you have a dust or something. I am also using this one sometimes if I have. This one is like a filter, and it will not affect any producing of your guns, and it will keep any insects or any dust from your out from your gases. You can use such a things, you know.
Yes, this is a good idea. May I show my video, Jalal?
Yes, yes.
And will that still allow production of the amino acids with that on top?
At my side, yes. I will show you.
This one, what I have here, this is for as long as more than 6 months. I took this amount, the first one, and still I have here down, you see. There, it's still slightly the same amount what I have here also. So you can take it now.
The host has stopped my video.
Okay, go now, Joseph.
Could you?
Sorry, you can go now.
Okay. No, host has stopped the video, it means.
And Jalal, remember, just fish or meat in the fridge, not your wife.
No, it should be okay, Joseph. Do you want to go out and try again?
Yes, I try it all the time. Every time I want to start the video, it says, Sie können Ihr Video nicht starten, weil es der Host gestoppt hat.
Yeah, go share screen first. Don't go to the start video. Go share screen. Yes.
Share screen first.
And then go
Yeah,
to
we
the...
can see it now. Can see the picture of your box on your radiator.
Yes, and it says again, the video is stopped from the host. I can even, if I share something, not share my video.
We see your video. Whoops.
It's gone now.
It's the share screen, what you see, but not the video.
Go to the camera. When you share screen,
Have
go
you
to the camera. It's the same thing happened with me.
have you opened the window with your video? Do that first and then a share screen.
I have no video open on the screen. It worked very well, but it says every time the host has stopped it. Also, yes, then I have to share it another time.
Trying to show his camera.
Oh, the video.
No.
Oh, not the. So don't hit your screen. Just hit start video.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. That's the problem. Thank you, Willie.
Thank you, Willie.
In this box, you have copper. Sorry, you have to copper nanocoat, zinc.
We don't see anything. Just go and now share screen, I think.
I'd like to share the video.
Yeah, but we don't see anything. If you see
Yes, because I can't share it because the program has a function that I cannot open my video camera.
Huh. But that's not us preventing it, I don't think. I know I'm not, and I'm sure Danny's not, unless there's some.
You have to go
No.
into you have to go into more. Hello, you have to
Yeah.
go into more, and then you have to allow for panelists to share video.
Oh, it's the live on custom, is it? Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
Try
Okay,
again
try
now.
again now.
Dimitri also can do it. He's his co-host.
It's done, though. Yeah,
No,
it's done.
I can't do it.
Well, there we go.
Perfect.
There you go. Well done.
Hello, good morning. I will try to show you this box. This is the CO2 box, and it got plenty of amino acids at the top. And I made it with this filter. And I wondered, because I thought there are no amino acids, but it functioned very well, but it needed 2 or 3 weeks to get the amino acids. And I have made some boxes for tritium production. This is a box I wanted to test the O2 production to get the C out of the C subtracted from the CO2. So I thought O2 GANs will be occur, or GANs with the Eigenschaften of the O2. And I found that the GANs crystals in there got really huge. There are some big some big.
Yeah, very big. Wow.
Yes, and there are even bigger in some other boxes, in the tritium boxes. I have made these boxes with 3 plates outside the nano-coated copper plates, and inside and at the top is this glass with the CO2 GaNs, and at the top there are only two diodes, and everything is connected together. The left and the right side together, this is the cathode, and the plate in the middle is the anode. And like the same principle, I have made 2 more boxes, but they are not, I can't not reach them because I have changed only in the glass. This is the CO2 in the glass, and in the 2 other boxes I have given a CH3 to get tritium. And that's all. I have many boxes more, but I need to make some preparements that I can show everything in a short couple of time.
Thank you.
What you have in the bottle? You have CO2.
Yes, in this box I have CO2, and I hoped, or I'm hoping to get O2 GaNs. GaNs with the properties of O2. But I think my feeling tells me not only the C, also the O is going out from this bottle.
Maybe use a CH3 box, and that way it's not going to take the oxygen, it just take the carbon and then hydrogen from the atmosphere.
Yes, and if it only takes the carbon, I should get the GaNs with the properties of O2.
Yeah.
And that was the goal, and I try to reach it.
You have the field of carbon between the zinc and copper,
Yes.
which extract oxygen with atmospheric and extract for CO2 on top, which remind me of GaNs of carbon in top. When you extract
yes, this would be perfect to get much of the CO2 GaNs, but I want to get the CO2 GaNs in the top to lose the carbon fields, so the oxygen fields would refer in the bottle. And then I would have oxygen GaNs, or a GaNs with the properties of oxygen. That's the plan.
I think that's a really good idea. Try the same way as we make deuterium, and using the CH3 in the middle, and it takes the carbon and the hydrogen. Instead of having that as instead of having the CH3 in the middle with the CO2 in the middle, then it's only going to take the carbon out of that.
Yes, exactly. And I have 3 boxes, 2 with CH3 for the tritium production, and 1 I tried to make oxygen GaNs.
On these boxes, have you got a current going to them, a load?
Only the load that comes from the plates naturally. I haven't got the extra load.
Okay.
And the load is a little bit smaller because at this oxygen production I haven't used resistors, that the current flow gets even smaller. because in some boxes the current flow was big, and I had some issues with the time with it. So I thought if the current is smaller, then it's a little bit better for the production. The metastate current I couldn't measure.
Very good. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing. And thank you everyone else for commenting. Are there any more questions, or would anybody else like to share their experiments? I guess that means no. Then I would propose that we meet again in February. And that is the second Monday of the month, which is the 12th of February.
2019?
2000. Let's start with 2018. So that would be fantastic. And then have a look. Let's have a look at what happened with your experiments until then. And I say thank you to everyone who participated and showed their experiments and shared with us. And thank you to Elizabeth and Dimitri for co-hosting today. Thank you very much. And this was the 14th public testimonial meeting in all languages. Today is Monday, the 8th of January, 2018. And thank you very much. And I'll say goodbye.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, everybody. And for all the hosts and co-hosts that are showing up, we need you. Please keep coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Danny. Thank you all. Thank you, Dimitri, Eric, and all everybody. And Willie in the background. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Willie. We need your expertise. Thank you very much.
And Danny, I will not give you the pleasure that you see me in the fridge.
Yeah, we hope we don't ever see you in the fridge.
Yeah.
Or your wife. Nope.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny.